Oh, all right, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, like all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rekakodash.
the one that stood apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to all you brothers out there pressing the truth and sincerity. It's our brother Vanya and the brother.
Yerah.
We just wanted to do a quick lesson, regarding, hey, walking this path and faith, truth, and sincerity, Hey, let me grab the scripture. Not much more for me to say.
Right, let's get right to it now. This is which one?
Matthew 7 and 13.
7 and 13. Okay. This is the I'm way over there. This is the book of Matthew. Well, I ain't gonna talk too loud. So like we just came from camp, so brother was out there crying aloud, lifting up my voice like a trumpet. But this is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 7, verse 13. It says, "Enter ye at the straight gate."
Hey, and this the truth, going out there to the hedges, highways, and byways, following rank and order, Hey, this is that straight gate,
Having order, period.
Kind of.
Because we live in a world ran by Satan, and Satan's minions, and his whole philosophies, basically Esau Edom,
Which that order was set by, Yahushua,
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, we're following in that steed,
Okay. It says, "Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction."
Hey, wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, So, hey, that's going into, like the brother was saying before we started the lesson, the philosophies. What else he said?
The philosophies, the worship of the woman, the love of money, everything, man. The love of self, but like the worship of self, because we live in that time, in that era, with all the social medias like Instagram, follow me, like my picture, do anything for likes, and just all of those type of things, those are ways of the world, which is that broad gate,
which ultimately leads unto death.
It says, "And broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat." So like,
hey, there be many that go thereafter. Hey, the fashion of this life, How many people at home on a Saturday night reading the Bible and actually teaching the Bible? Not many,
How many women are in order, man? Being and when I say in order, I mean you understand that your man is the head, man, and you fall back, man, and you allow your man to, if he's a man of the Lord, you see, you allow your man to do what he needs to do, man. You see what I'm saying? It's not many women that are going to do that. How many children are in order?
These hard-headed, rebellious kids.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Verse 14, it says, because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth it unto life," like the brother said.
And he said, "Straight is the gate, and narrow is the what they say. The narrow is the way that leadeth to life."
Okay.
Hey, these words, these words of the scripture. Hey, this is life. Like we was going into the lesson outside. Hey, the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, these are life.
Okay.
These are life-bearing scriptures.
What was the scripture that the brother went into about not hurting the oil?
Revelation 6 and 9, I believe, or 6 and 6.
And that was the
this truth. Yeah,
it's truth. Yeah. So the Lord never meant for His Spirit to just be, just completely out of the earth. Completely away from His people. He always had a remnant. You see what I'm saying? So His love and His mercy is always going to go towards the house of Israel, man. Jacob's seed. You see?
Read that last part again.
This is St. Matthew chapter 7 verse 14. It says, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it.
Okay, few there be that find it. You know, so hey, everybody ain't finna find this. Like the brother said twice. Hey, it's a small remnant. You know,
that's right.
First, starting with the elect, and then ultimately the 1/3, then ultimately all of Israel.
Okay.
But like, they got to be destroyed first.
Okay.
2nd Ezra 7 and 7.
Yep, gotcha. It's the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 7, verse 7 and 8. It says, the entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall.
That again, it's like,
oh yeah, that's deep. It says, the entrance thereof is narrow.
Hey, the entrance to what? The entrance to the kingdom, the way of truth, is narrow.
To paint a picture, you know, for Jake, like imagine Akim, somebody walking a tightrope. You know, when you walk in a tightrope, you want to be focused. You got to be balanced. You see, every step you take is like, yo, it could be your last. You know, so you know, and you're gonna stumble. You know, more, you know, to the right or to the left or whatever. You know, but what does the scripture say? A righteous man falleth 7 times and get back up 8. You know, roughly paraphrasing. You know what I mean? But my point is, you know, imagine walking that tightrope. That's that straight and narrow path. You know, and you got to be careful. You know, because if you lean more towards the right or towards the left, you'll fall, man.
Hey, the scripture gonna say it.
Yeah, kind. It's 2nd Esdras chapter 7 verse 7. It says, the entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall.
Set in a dangerous place to fall. Hey, to fall weak to Egyptology, that's dangerous. Yeah. To fall weak to a woman, that's dangerous. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't want to be a part of this work. With 2 Timothy 2 and 4. God. But yeah, you don't want to be caught up in the fashion of this world, because ultimately we know that it leads to death. You know. You keep reading that, Daddy. I'm right here. But
I'm holding all of these.
Yeah, this is 2 Timothy chapter 2. Sorry, 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 4. It said, no man that work entangle himself with the affairs of this life. You know, so hey, if you striving for the truth, the mastery, you know, hey, you got you know, one focus, you know, one mindset. You know, you're not caring about what's going on this side, what's going on that side. Hey, your focus is this truth. You know, with the affairs of this life, that he may please who have chose him to be a soldier. You know, so we're doing it to please Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. You know.
Okay. And we're doing out of fear, fear of the Lord's judgments too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And in that we get wisdom, right? Because the scriptures say the fear of the Lord
is the beginning
of wisdom. The beginning of wisdom or not? It says it's back in 2nd Esdras chapter 7 verse 8. Well, no, actually I didn't finish 7. Verse 7. It says, the entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left hand deep water.
Hey, deep water. So either way it goes, yeah. Hey, it's a dangerous way to fall. You know.
And one only path, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once.
Hey, just like the brother was saying, hey, it's like walking on a tightrope. What we read in Matthew, hey, the gate being narrow, hey, only one man can pass. So you, like you said, you walking on a tightrope. Hey, you gotta be precise. You step too far, hey, that's your balance. You thrown off. You gonna fall in, whether it be water or the fire. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, read something.
Yeah, kind of. Got I don't know if that went with that or. I got Luke, book of Saint Luke. Yeah, the book of Saint Luke, chapter 13, verse 24. It says, strive to enter in at the strait gate, for many, I say unto you, will seek to enter in and shall not be able.
Read it again.
This is a book of Saint Luke, chapter 13, verse 24. It says, strive to enter in at the strait gate.
Hey, how do you strive to enter in at the strait gate? You know, hey, for one, you got to be called. You know, say many are called, but few are chosen. You know, hey, we're entering in at the strait gate. You know.
It says, for many, I say unto you, will seek to enter in.
Hey, many seek to enter in. You know?
And shall not be able.
So they can't. They will not be able, because ultimately, like we said, hey, it's the Most High who, initially gives the kingdom.
You talking about what we talking about earlier?
Kind. I lost my thought for a second.
No, sorry. But it's us being the men of the Lord, which Yahweh Ratazah we are, and not just us, but all men are out there striving to make sure that their calling and election is sure. We are the Lord's. We are part of a husbandry. Okay, and when you go into that word husbandry, all right, it means to till. A ground tiller. To till the ground, till the earth. You know what I mean? So if you ever watch somebody till, they pretty much grind the soil up. You see, and plant the seed. You see, but the scriptures also tell us that the Lord gives the increase. You see, only the Lord, after you plant that seed, only the Lord can allow that seed to grow within that person. You see what I'm saying? So if you see them, come into camp, or all on the comment board, saying shalom, they're kind of, they're building up, they're asking questions, then you know that, hey man, the Lord knocked at this man's door per se, right? And he let him in.
Hey, I mean, when you read Wisdom of Solomon, it said basically, to roughly paraphrase it, man being led to the truth. Ultimately the spirit itself gonna test him to see if he really about this. It's gonna try him, and prove him. And if he be found not worthy, hey, get out of here. You know what I mean?
Because the elect, the elect on this side is gonna endure to the end.
Okay.
You see, the elect on this side is not gonna allow society to scare them away from the truth. You know what I mean? To allow a woman to pull them away from the truth. Okay.
Going back to 2 Timothy, not being so entangled into this life that you get the boot. But even if you do it, ultimately it's the will of Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai. But the elect, they won't be deceived.
Okay.
Because they they're gonna strive for that mark. That tightrope to endure to the end.
They're gonna focus, walk in that tightrope. If you ever seen somebody actually make it from one point all the way to the other point, right?
Yeah.
Once they're like in the middle, right? At no point at all, when they're walking the tightrope, are they thinking, I'm almost there? You know what I mean? Like, I'm almost there, or they look back and see how far they done got, or they look down and see, they don't do that. They're completely locked in, until their feet touches that, ground to the other side, wherever it's attached to, until their feet touches that ground and they're not walking a tightrope anymore, then they take the rest. You know what I mean? They don't do it while they're walking. They're focused, they're balanced,
Hey, that's how you are to be in this truth, putting up your 3 videos a week, doing what your elders, ask of you, being brotherly, Hey, that's that path,
Okay. You want me to keep reading? We don't get that. Yeah. I'll read it though. This is the book of St. Luke. When it goes into the door being closed. Yeah, that was shot.
Yeah, that was it. Go back to the second Ezra. Don't know how I want to drive.
That's awesome. It's the book of second Ezra, chapter 7, verse 7. It says, the entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could be but one man go there at once.
God. Hey, one man go there at once. So imagine how narrow that path have to be, This is real quick. This is second Ezra chapter 8, verse 1, and he answered me and said, the Most High had made this world. The Most High had made this world for many, but the world to come for few. So, hey, as many people as it is in this world, hey, the kingdom is only for a few. That's right. And that's that small remnant, the elect, and ultimately all of Israel,
God. And it's like everybody's not built to be rulers.
That's right.
Everybody doesn't have that rulership mentality. That's why you hear the apostles and elders always go into, you have to build up a rulership, a king's mentality. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that was it. Yeah. Yeah. Kind of, you want me to read it up? Keep going. I stopped right there at 8.
See, it's like, keep going.
No. But everybody doesn't have a rulership mentality. You know what I mean? Ain't gonna be no, me and the brothers always talk about this all the time. And that's why we strive for the kingdom, because we know when when the kingdom is established, ain't gonna be no hoes in the kingdom.
That's right.
Ain't gonna be no coon ass niggas. So, excuse my language, Salakia. Ain't gonna be no coon Negroes in the kingdom. You know what I mean? Ain't gonna be no backstabbers and hater of thy brethren. Adulterers. Ain't gonna be none of that. No?
It's gonna be straight order and righteousness.
That's right. That's right. You gotta.
Yeah, keep going on that to 9. Well, no, to 10.
To 10. Okay, come. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 7, verse 9. Continuing on, it says, if this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the dangers set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance?
Right. So, hey, if we don't go through trials and tribulations, the various tests that we go through, hey, how we going to appreciate the kingdom that's to come?
Hey, we all have weaknesses, right? Yeah. Because we still in this flesh, so we all have our portion of what needs to be strengthened up and built up, and that's what the Lord put us through to help strengthen up those weaknesses, man.
God. Hey, to make us to ultimately make us perfect.
That's right. It says, verse 10. It says, and I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion.
Okay, so hey, ultimately Israel is going to inherit. It's going to be it's going to be Israel's inheritance. You know, to the kingdom. You know, hey, but 2/3 got to die on this side, and hey, the 1/3 in the elect of Israel. Hey, we're going to be saved out if we be a part of the number, Lord willing. You know. You got something else?
I think I already brought up that Luke, but to add to the inheritance part, because I actually had this precept outside in the highways and hedges, but you know, spirit. But since you brought it back up, that's the spirit. So and then it came back to mind. But you know, going into that inheritance, right? We're also going to, you know, those of us that, you know, endure into the end. We're also gonna, you know, inherit the other nations, man. You know, that like how many people have that type of mindset that they would love to have the other nations, all right, as a servants and handmaids, man. You know, you can't, you know, a Christian or, you know, whatever, you know, that have that mindset of, you know, let's just all get along, you know, let's love everybody, you know. They're not going to be mentally, spiritually, you know, fit to be a rulership. It's like to be in rulership in the kingdom, man.
Right.
You know, because they're not preparing themselves. They're not training themselves. But let me get this. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 2, and what was it? Chapter 2, verse 8. It says, "Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance."
Hey, ask of me, and I shall give the heathen for thy inheritance.
He said, "Ask." You know what I mean? Come on, man. It says, "And the uttermost, so like in the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession." You see?
Hey, so we're ultimately going to possess. Hey, when he said the uttermost parts of the earth.
Okay.
For thy possession, you know, and when he say ask and it shall be yours. Seeking you shall find, you know, just roughly quote the scripture. But hey, we know ultimately, you know, that the kingdom is ours, and the heathen, hey, y'all going into slavery. Well, Esau's going into slavery. Y'all gonna be serving right along with him, because you want to get that in Revelation? It said. That was a man reap it. Actually, he also sow. I think it was Revelation. No, he didn't lead into captivity, so go into captivity. Slack it. I grabbed one about the sow it.
Extra quiet. It's like
right. It's like
I got the Revelation. Oh, you got it? Okay. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 10. It says, "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword." So like, here is the patience and the faith of the saints. You see? So like the brother was saying, you know, in the kingdom, we're gonna have the heathen for, you know, as an inheritance, along with the uttermost parts of the world and of the earth.
Okay.
You know, and these other nations are going into slavery. You know.
Yeah, and they're going to pay tribute unto Israel.
Okay.
You know?
That's right, man. But the point of me bringing out that second Esdras, the book of Psalms chapter 2, is to add to the brother's point. you know, having, you know, basically the reward that we're gonna get, you see, for walking that straight and narrow path. You see what I'm saying? And staying on course, staying balanced, staying focused, staying strong, falling, getting back up though, man. Okay. You see what I'm saying? And keep pushing, you know. And like I said earlier, Yahweh Rathazah, we are of that number, all the brothers, you see. Okay. You know, that we all strive until the end. You see what I'm saying? But if we happen to do that, you see what I'm saying? These are going to be that's a part of the reward. You see what I'm saying? That's a part of the glory and the reward that we're going to get.
That's right. We're gonna end off on this one. This is just reiterate your point. This is Galatians chapter 7. It's like chapter 6 verse 7. It said, "Be not deceived; the Most High is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." You know, and the so-called white man has sown nothing but wickedness. You know, and slavery, destruction. You know, right along with the other nations.
That's right.
And hey, you don't think he's gonna reap and pay that back? Hey, double.
And you know, Esau already. You know, Esau is not built like us, man. You know, Esau is not built like we are built to last. All right, we are built to survive and to last. You know, Esau is not built that way.
Okay.
You know.
So verse 8 it says, "He that soweth," it's like he that soweth unto his flesh shall reap. His flesh shall reap corruption, but he that soweth unto the Spirit shall reap everlasting. Shall reap. It's like it shall reap life everlasting. You know, and we're sowing into the Spirit. You know, by doing the work, pushing this truth. You know, right. And hey, Lord willing, hey, we gonna see that everlasting. So verse 9 it says, "Let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap, if we faint not." So hey, if we continue to do the work, continue to push, and if we be of that elect, hey, we're going to receive that reward, hey, in due season.
That's right.
You know, so with that, hey, all praise to Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rekakwadash,
the oneness of the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all you saints rocking out there pressing the truth and sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.